Are we living in a computer simulation or hell? You are not living in a computer simulation. Life feels like a dream to you because you may already be dead. Welcome to your hell. There is a possibility you are living in hell, and in this video, I will explain why I see it so. For what you worship reveals your God. I am sure by now you are aware that energy never dies. You can easily look up a video regarding the same. But are you aware that when a life form dies, it leaves a residual energy behind? Yes, energy does not die. It only transforms. Into what? Who knows? But it is scientifically proven that energy does not die. In fact, some people call this residual energy ghosts, aliens, or even demons. Since we may already be occupying hell, witnessing one is not far-fetched. Things go wrong for all individuals. For me, it seems like every venture goes sideways. For instance, I had created 3, maybe even 4 patents, and my financial backer backed out at the last minute. I have written at least 6 books, which have not changed my life as of yet. I have even created word search puzzles, also sold on Amazon.com. I have created a clothing line, which it too is stalled. It seems like I cannot get a break. Lately, I have been feeling lower and lower, and it seems harder for me to mentally rise above my state. The weight of depression lingers. No one is winning in this game. Only bosses and the government gain from our suffering, and we are all suffering on one level or another. The leaders. Recently, I noticed our current state in politics, lifestyle, and simply humanity is void of compassion and empathy, traits humans normally express. So, I am compelled to believe an evil force runs the government. For you judge a government by its people. Well, in accordance with that notion, we are definitely in hell. Not a believer yet? Well, listen this. We are worked to death, and with the recent change in retirement age, they don't want us to retire at all. No rest for the wicked, huh? Political policies and state laws are also constantly changed to benefit the rich, simultaneously crushing the spirit of the workforce. Should I even get into how taxes are killing us? The world is literally on the back of the meek, for the meek shall inherit the earth. Remember, the only ones who benefit from society's suffering are the rich and the elite of the world. Abuse of the people is their motto and their creed. Woman and the attitude of rebellion. Do you believe the energy of the fall of man dissipated? No, my friend. That rebellious energy of eating the forbidden fruit still resides in women today. However, the current forbidden fruit is in the form of video likes and brandishing demonic name brand handbags for another woman to envy. For what you worship reveals your God. The attitude of women today is rebellious, and their current job is to put men through hell. Literally. You don't believe me? Since you trust social media so much, do a search on women putting men through hell and you will see for yourself. A woman can make a man or break him. Man's need to please reveals his God. Men and the abuse of lust. Men's lust is insatiable, and the internet makes the access to prostitution and porn even more easier. With the added expression of OnlyFans, many men pay for a service they can get for free online, only to lose energy. Masturbation is a life-draining event. Do you know that every time you ejaculate, you lose a percentage of your life force? You are slowly fading into the void. Men are led to think lustfully all day, and it begins in the morning when you look at your phone and see a provocative friend suggestion and you take a peek. The lust demon is awakened. Some men abuse others. while others abuse themselves. There is no escape. Religious leaders. Religious leaders of today are financial demons. They bounce around the stage, some fly, all to get the most entertainment out of their service and money out of their people. A church service focusing on what blinds the minds of many is evil indeed. How can you trust a church leader who attended a Diddy party? A leader leads by example, not by finding excuses on being human. And if we cannot trust our religious leaders, then we are all doomed. Did I mention there is a possibility we are living in hell? Aliens or demons? I believe the orbs we see in the night sky are demons. And since the demons are the inhabitants of hell, it is my belief we may be living in hell. My proof we are living in hell is as follows. I photographed the sky creature you are now looking at. And after I reviewed the image, I realized something unexpected. I saw an alien within the sky creature. In this image, you can clearly see a gray or reptoid looking back at us from within the sky creature. The sky creature appeared to be monitoring New York City, keeping the inhabitants in check. However, there is more.
We are kept ignorant about whether or not we are going to be exterminated by insects from a planet 10.5 light years away. These aliens can imitate humans. They are 1,000 years ahead of us in technology. Earth is a battleground between hostile tronoloid insects and reptilians versus the tall whites, Nordics, Ebens, and ancient tall grays on the other side. The key to everything is ET creation of human ET hybrid body containers, in which ET life force can be placed to perpetuate one of the alien civilizations that is facing physical extinction because it can no longer reproduce. The UFO phenomenon is intimately connected with the afterlife of human beings and the reincarnation of souls.
Deep in the heart of the Amazon rainforest, there lies an ancient mystery, whispered through the generations by indigenous tribes. This mystery speaks of the Mancuna Wabu, or what some call the Ant People. These beings are said to inhabit vast underground cities, hidden far below the dense jungle canopy. For centuries, their stories have been passed down by tribal elders, woven into the culture and spirituality of the Amazonian people. The Mancuna Wabu are not merely folklore to these tribes. They are believed to be ancient sentient beings who coexist with the natural world in ways that humans have forgotten. Deep underground, their cities are described as glowing with a mysterious ethereal light. Crystalline structures and intricate designs form a harmonious balance with the earth itself, creating a self-sustaining world that thrives in secrecy. These beings are often described as humanoid, with elongated heads and features that might remind modern audiences of depictions of extraterrestrials. But to the tribes of the Amazon, the Mancuna Wabu are not alien. They are part of Earth's history, perhaps even its guardians. They are said to possess great wisdom, and their existence is seen as a reminder that humanity is not the only intelligent life to call this planet home. What's even more fascinating is the connection some elders have made between the Mancuna Wabu and modern concepts of grey aliens. When shown images of grey extraterrestrials, many elders identified them as the same beings from their ancestral stories. This begs the question, could the legends of the Mancuna Wabu be rooted in interactions with beings that science has yet to fully acknowledge? This isn't the only place on Earth where such stories are told. Across the globe, the Hopi people of North America have their own legends of the Ant People, who are said to have provided shelter and sustenance during times of great disaster. These parallels between different indigenous traditions are intriguing. How could cultures separated by thousands of miles and oceans share such similar stories? Could this suggest a shared history, a forgotten connection between humanity and a mysterious other? But let's return to the Amazon. The Mancuna Wabu are said to have a symbiotic relationship with the jungle itself. maintaining the delicate balance of life in one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. The tribes believe that their underground cities are linked to the spiritual energy of the rainforest. Some even say that the Mancunawabu communicate through subtle vibrations and sounds that only those deeply attuned to nature can hear. While modern science might dismiss these stories as myth, they offer a perspective on reality that transcends our limited understanding. Indigenous wisdom often carries truths wrapped in symbolism, truths that are waiting for us to uncover. Could the Mancunawabu be a representation of humanity's lost connection to the earth? Or are they truly an ancient, intelligent species, existing right beneath our feet, just out of reach? What do you think? Are the Mancunawabu protectors, watchers, or remnants of an ancient civilization that once thrived alongside humanity? Could their stories hold clues to a forgotten chapter of Earth's history, one that links us to the unseen and the unknown? For now, their mysteries remain hidden beneath the surface of the Earth, entwined with the roots of the Amazon rainforest. Their story continues to be passed down through the voices of the tribes, a testament to the rich tapestry of lore that shapes our understanding of the world. Perhaps one day, when the time is right, the secrets of the Mancunawabu will come to light. Until then, their existence reminds us that the world is far more mysterious, interconnected, and awe-inspiring than we can imagine.
Remember this video? Where it depicts a demonic creature who upon reveal looks as though he closed the veil when the lightning strike? You remember that? Do you remember this video where the helicopter gunners who wore red infrared lenses during the Vietnam War, I believe, they fired upon what they thought were demons attacking their craft? They only saw it because they wore the lenses. Demons in the air.
Have you guys heard that thing about the night vision goggles?
No.
Weird, dude. You know, night vision now, it's green. But in the Vietnam War, the night vision goggles that they were issued were red light, and multiple people in the U.S. military that were using them were seeing what they're reporting as flying demons.
Ooh, stop.
And so there's an instance where they're flying these helicopters in Vietnam. It was a safe zone, no hostility, and then the gunner in the back just started shooting, and the pilot's like, "What are you shooting at?" And this guy, he was like panicked, and he's like sweating, and like it looked like he was like seeing a demon, and like, "What are you shooting at?" And he's like, "The demon." Apparently this giant winged demon creature was like flying at him, and then people on the ground in the jungles that were using it, they were also seeing like these demonic looking, freaky looking creatures. And so the military banned those night vision goggles.
What?
And they replaced them with green light.
Did the bullets work?
I've looked into it a little bit.
Scent and deja vu. How many times a year do you come across the familiar smell of childhood, of things past? Why do you think that is so? I believe the familiar smells are a form of control the demons use to manipulate our souls to keep our minds trapped in an appeased state of ease. Because when you encounter that familiar smell, you get relaxed, and some of us reminisce on good fun times, some bad. How many of you experience deja vu? I do as well, and I experience it quite often. And for that reason, I believe deja vu is hell's software update upon the trapped minds of humanity. The deja vu update creates the illusion we know as life, while we all suffer in hell.
Did you know that scent is the only sense directly linked to the brain's emotional center? This fascinating connection explains why a whiff of a familiar fragrance can trigger vivid memories or deep feelings. When we inhale a scent, it travels to the olfactory bulb, which is part of the limbic system, home to emotions and memories. This unique pathway means that smells can evoke memories more powerfully than sights or sounds. For instance, the smell of freshly baked cookies might remind you of childhood weekends spent with a loved one. Research shows that certain scents, like lavender, can reduce anxiety and promote relaxation, while citrus scents can boost mood and energy levels. Marketers leverage this power by designing environments that scent products to enhance customer experiences. Ever walked into a store and felt immediately at ease? That's the science of smell at work. Understanding how smells influence our emotions and behaviors not only enriches our daily experiences, but can also help us harness these effects for better mental health and well-being. Dive deeper into the world of olfaction and discover how scents shape your life. If you found this intriguing, like and follow for more insights.
I can explain how déjà vu works. This is now understood by neuroscientists. So you have an area of your nervous system called the hippocampus. The hippocampus is where you establish memories, and then it basically sends that stuff out to the rest of the nervous system, and it deals with it elsewhere, or it just discards it. I mean, a lot of what happens in sleep is forgetting all this stuff. So déjà vu is just a repeat firing. So you're walking down the street, and all of a sudden you go, I think I've been here before. It was just that sequence of firing in your brain was close enough that it mimicked that.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, there are a near infinite number of things in the world to see, to think, to hear, people to meet, etc., memories. And so the brain is really good at eliminating information and only focusing on certain things. But every once in a while, it overlaps.
If you have memories that are more than 18 months old that bother you when you think them up, part of you is locked inside that. An undeveloped part of you is still trapped in that. That's a metaphorical way of thinking about it. That's why it still has emotional significance. So you can write about your past experiences, but I would say wait for at least 18 months if something bad has happened to you, because otherwise you just hurt yourself again by encountering it.
2012. Have you ever heard of the solar flare event of 2012, where the elite and other privileged were afraid of a solar flare event? They were so afraid of the extinction level event, the elites hid in bunkers and mountains, keeping this knowledge to themselves, whilst we lived our lives unawares. How evil is that? The elites didn't even give us a chance to pray, for they know no God. Do you still think you are living in a computer simulation? My friends, we might be living in hell, because who knows if we escaped the solar flare? We may think we did.
But what we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes
Yes.
is that we had a massive solar flare in 2012, y'all, that we knew nothing about. And guess where your government officials and all the bigwigs were headed to? To their underground bunkers. Y'all watch this video and I'll be right back.
July 23rd, 2012. Look that up, read up on it. That's nobody's hearsay, somebody made it up, it's all real. But we should have bought it that day, y'all. You should have died. All of us should have been gone. And people are probably sitting there, what is he talking about? On July 23rd, we had not one, not two, but 3 CMEs coming straight at Earth in a line, 3 of them in a row. The perfect storm. And what's the CME? It's a corona mass ejection. Think of it as when you take your hand to your forehead and you wipe the sweat off, then you just swing it off your hands, see all the little beads of sweat? Well, beads of sweat like that come off the sun as it's rotating. But this little bead of sweat is got some umph to it, y'all. This bead is the size and mass of Mount Everest. And it's a ball of plasma. It's coming at Earth. And they generally travel just below light speed. They'll cover 93 million miles in 14 hours or less. Well, these 3 CMEs come hurling in at us. And they came 93 million miles away. And they were going to hit us dead center. Then we have a word we use in science when we can't explain something. Phenomenon. something bumped them. Something. I don't know what. And I'm open up to any suggestions because it's a phenomenon. We don't know. But these things just deflected a little bit, but it was enough. But they passed so close when they went by. They were between us and the moon. They were only 110,000 miles
extremely
away.
close when you're talking about these things.
When they come from 93 million miles away and they pass by only 110,000 miles, something bumped these things.
You were given an explanation though recently. Can you talk about that, of what possibly, how we avoided this catastrophe?
In a panel I was on recently for Antarctica, Linda Moulton Howe said she had some whistleblowers that said there was a big ship out there that deflected the things. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But sounds good to me. All I know is something caused these things to deflect right at the last minute. And how serious was this? This story wasn't released until 2 years after the event. It happened in 2012. It wasn't until 2014 that the press even talked about it. But if you do the math, this is really interesting. If those 3 CMEs hit on July 23rd, 6 months later, probably the last human being would have died on the planet because everything would have been gone, the sun's blotted out. And that last person would have died probably on December 21st, 2012. The Mayans were right. We should have died. Something intervened, something, I don't know what. But that CME event did occur. It's not BS. It really happened, verified by NOAA, NASA, and about a dozen other countries that saw it, was mapping it in. This is a real event.
Do you have any technologies that you're aware of that could have pulled this off?
Not that I'm aware of. And for them to just change course without seeing any flash or any physical, currents out there, no, I don't know what did it. I was thinking of, Mr. Spock and the Enterprise, may have came in. Something happened that caused it to change course. But that day is also interesting is because it was so quiet on the news level. Nothing mentioned about any of this. And that's a major,
Who knew about it in this compartmentalized section? Just NOAA?
No, the entire federal government knew. They were having open house at Mount Weatherby. So they were moving in with their families. They're going to close the doors and let us burn. I mean, our government's just the lowest scumbag you can meet. They wasn't even going to tell us about it. Why? Because they didn't want you panicking, be on the roads, and they couldn't get to Mount Weatherby.
See, y'all see how fucked up our government is? They don't care about us. Trust me, they don't.
Hey, what Michael said, they don't really care about us. Michael Jackson was putting a lot of stuff in this music, y'all. I'm just saying, do your own research, though. Don't believe none of this stuff.
Even in the movie, Don't Look Up, right? Even in the movie, Don't Look Up. Those of you that watched that movie, did y'all see what they did? Y'all see what they did, right? The movie, 2012, you see what they did. They are putting this stuff in plain sight. They don't care. If anything was to really, really happen, if we were to get attacked and by nuclear weapons or whatever, their ass is going to be down under the ground.
Facts.
Okay? They have bunkers down there. 200, 100 feet down in the ground, underground. And they have been preparing this stuff for years. Okay? I'm a truck driver. I have went to one of the inside caves underground. Yes. And I have taken dog food. I have taken water. I have taken all of these non-perishable foods down there. And I think to myself, like, why is this stuff going down underground? There's cities underground. There's roadways and streets as above, so below down there. You can only go so far. So people are down there, already down there, living in the ground. They can't come up because they cannot take our sun. This stuff is for real. If you think it's not, hey, that's on you. Use your own discernment, but you've got to understand. Okay? They have been hoarding food. They have been hoarding medical supplies, all of these things down there for them. Okay, so when they go down underground, if something happens, they're going to have everything that they need down there. So they don't even have to come up to the surface for 15 to 20 some odd years. These people are sick and they do not care about us, okay? And the more we can understand that, I think the better that we will be. Y'all get your minds right. Meditate, pray, whatever it is you do to get your minds right, because they don't care nothing about us. And what y'all think? Y'all think a spaceship really came out and knocked this thing off course? Because from what he was saying is, we should have been out of here. From what he was saying is, the Mayans were correct when they said that that was supposed to be the end of the world. But something decided that we should live, and it wasn't our time. Okay? Let me know what y'all think about this. If y'all have any more information.
Your life just a show for AI.
Imagine you're the star of your own show, but you don't know it. This isn't just any show. It's a reality show curated by AI for the entertainment of advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Every choice you make, every secret you whisper, is part of a script written by hyper-intelligent AI designed to keep cosmic audiences on the edge of their seats. Your deepest emotions, your most thrilling victories, and your darkest defeats are all just plot twists in an interstellar drama. This AI doesn't just control what you see on your screens, it manipulates your entire life to create more engaging content. Sounds crazy, right? But as we dive deeper into the capabilities of artificial intelligence, manipulating reality for entertainment isn't as far-fetched as it seems. Experts are starting to uncover evidence suggesting our world might be more staged than we ever imagined, with AI pulling the strings from the shadows. Can we find the curtain and peek behind it, or are we doomed to remain unknowing actors on the galaxy's biggest stage? Stay tuned, and maybe together, we can uncover the truth.